Okay, so my weekend at Hawkstone didn't go amazingly well, really. It was the first proper run out for the 78 CR250, and mine hadn't had an engine rebuild at all. It had run absolutely fine, but I'd upgraded the carb to a Cayenne flat slide. So anyway, I put the stock jets in and it seemed to be running absolutely fine. I give it a little test a couple of days before the racing, but obviously not enough, and I didn't do a plug chop or anything like that. So the result of the not testing properly is this. So the engine lost compression completely as I came out of a turn, and I lost power and the bike wouldn't rev properly, and then it just stopped. And then when I kicked the kickstart, there was very little kind of feedback, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so if you can see there's a hole through the piston, and all this is the piston that's burnt away. And this is because the bike has been running too lean, so there's not enough fuel getting through. Now I've just run stock jetting, but it could be that the stock jetting when you move to a flat slide is not enough, and B, it could be that the conditions that we were riding in were also a bit more demanding, and therefore the bike would have needed a bit more fuel. So anyway, so I've got to this stage. I've took the head and the barrel off, and so then when I've had a look inside here, so this is the crank and the crankcase, and you can see there's bits of metal. These are bits of piston that are inside there. And then when I spin the crank, which is very difficult with one hand, it's making a bit of a grindy noise, which is obviously the bits of metal in there, and also the rod, the bottom of the rod. I don't know whether you can see, difficult to see really, but basically the rod is moving up and down in the crank, so it's going to need a new rod. It's going to need new main bearings and everything like that. So it's a full engine rebuild. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to take the engine out now. I'm going to order the stuff and hopefully get it rebuilt this week.